day 18, and the prompt for today is fabric. And I'm showing you this little box here in England. If you go to the odd, I can't even remember the name of it now, it's not in front of me, but whatever was on that box, the odd company, you can send away for some linen samples, as you can see that I've got there. And linen's a really good fabric to manipulate and play with. And as with all of the pebbles that I've done, this isn't about necessarily creating final pieces of art, but instead an experimentation. And the idea of pebble, because no two pebbles are ever the same. Some have been thrown around and bashed about, and some are smooth, and some are beautiful, and some are quite ugly. And this would definitely fit into the kind of rustic ugly variety. So the whole idea when I was playing here is that I wanted to really distress this fabric, make it my own. And I think when it comes to art journaling, junk journaling, whatever we want to call it, playing, let's call it that. Whenever it comes to that, I think it's really important when you're using materials to make them your own. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm shredding the fabric up. I'm seeing what I can do, if I can poke layers through layers. What can I achieve with these bits of fabric? And as I was saying, linen is a really good one for that, because it's a cross weave. Linen is woven both ways, and so when you hack at it, you can create frays in both directions. So what I do here is I start off by manipulating the fabric, and as I said, weaving these different linen colours through each other, shredding them, making sure it's looking really loose. And then I take some thread, and I take some of my gold thread to start off with, and I just kind of throw it on the top. I don't sew it in, I just throw it down. And then I take some normal thread and roughly sew all over the place, just hand sewing, not doing anything neat. This isn't about, for me, this was never about fine point needlework. This was about creating something really quite ugly, grungy, falling apart. Like brick, perhaps, when it's been tossed around in the ocean. So I do that. I sew and I use my normal thread, and then I change over and I use my slightly thicker thread and I sew on it again. And then I cut the pebble shape out. And of course, because I'm cutting through stitches, things are going to start falling away. There's going to be a natural erosion of this pebble as I create it. And then what I do is I take a couple of pieces of thread that a dear friend of mine creates. It's actually made from nettle, so it's nettle yarn. And I wrap it around my finger to create a spiral. And I place those spirals in different places on my pebble, and then I get my slightly thicker thread again, and I create some stitches around the outsides of those spirals to hold them in place. And then I thought my pebble was done. However, I looked at it and it didn't really have a lot of depth. It still looked a bit like a mismatch, an ugly mash of materials, which is fine. So I trusted my instinct, and I grabbed hold of some watercolour paint, and yes, it was the Payne's Grey. Of course it was the Payne's Grey. And just flooded certain areas of that fabric with some watercolour paint. And then my pebble was complete. I hope you've enjoyed today. As I say, the tasks, the prompts are for you to decipher in whatever way you feel is the best way to decipher them. Let me know how you get on. See you soon.